Dear friend, take a deep breath right now. Feel the air gently entering your body, filling your lungs with cool freshness, expanding your chest, and then slowly, deliberately releasing, carrying away any tightness, any held tension. In this very moment, nothing is required of you except to be here, fully, quietly, completely present. The world outside may continue its frantic pace, filled with endless notifications, deadlines, expectations, and distractions. But right here, within the quiet space of your own being, lies a sanctuary that no external storm can ever truly touch. This is the profound secret that Siddhartha Gautama, who became known as the Buddha, discovered over 2,500 years ago beneath the spreading branches of the Bodhi tree. Inner peace is not something distant you must chase, achieve, or earn through endless striving. It is already here, inherently present, patiently waiting for you to cease your outward searching and simply turn your gentle gaze inward. The Buddha's core message on this matter is beautifully direct. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. These few words encapsulate the essence of liberation from the cycles of dissatisfaction that plague human existence. We human beings spend so much of our lives in pursuit, running after more success in our careers, more validation from others, more material possessions to fill our homes, more certainty about the future, more control over unpredictable events. Convinced that if we can just grasp these things tightly enough, true calm and contentment will finally settle upon us. Yet the untrained mind behaves like a wild monkey, as the ancient texts describe it, swinging restlessly from one branch to another, never pausing long enough to rest. It clings desperately to memories of the past, replaying regrets, mistakes, or lost joys with painful insistence. It leaps anxiously into imagined futures, worrying about what might go wrong, what might be lost, or what might never arrive. And even in the precious present moment, it rarely settles. It judges everything, compares constantly, craves endlessly, and resists whatever is actually happening. This perpetual inner motion, this refusal to simply be with what is the very root of our unrest. The Buddha named this condition dukkha, often translated as suffering, but more precisely as unsatisfactoriness, stress, or the inherent friction of clinging to things that are impermanent. To understand this more deeply, let's explore the foundational framework the Buddha offered after his awakening, the Four Noble Truths which form the heart of his entire teaching and provide a clear diagnosis and remedy for the human predicament. The first noble truth is the recognition of dukkha itself, not just dramatic pain or tragedy, but the subtle, pervasive dissatisfaction woven into ordinary life, the ache of change, the frustration of unfulfilled desires, the inevitability of aging, illness, separation, and death. The second noble truth reveals the origin of this dukkha. It arises from tanha, or craving, our thirst for sensory pleasures, for existence or non-existence, for becoming something more or different than we are. This craving fuels attachment, and attachment leads to suffering when the objects of attachment inevitably shift or disappear. The third noble truth offers hope. There is a complete cessation of dukkha possible, a state called nibbana or nirvana, where the fires of greed, hatred, and delusion are extinguished, leaving only profound peace. And the fourth noble truth provides the practical path to that cessation. The Noble Eightfold Path, a holistic way of living that integrates wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental cultivation. The Noble Eightfold Path unfolds in three interconnected groups. First, wisdom, panna, right view, understanding reality as it is, including impermanent suffering and non-self. And right intention, the resolve toward renunciation, goodwill and harmlessness. Second, ethical conduct, sila, right speech, truthful, kind, helpful words. Right action, refraining from harm, stealing or misconduct. And right livelihood, earning a living in a way that doesn't cause suffering to others. Third, mental discipline, samadhi. Right effort, cultivating wholesome states and abandoning unwholesome ones. Right mindfulness, clear awareness of body, feelings, mind, and phenomena in the present. And right concentration, deep meditative absorption that steadies the mind. Imagine, my friend, that you are sitting under a great tree, just as Siddhartha Gautama did in the forests near Uruvela, now Bodh Gaya, around 528 BCE. After years of extreme asceticism and self-denial, starving himself nearly to death, practicing rigorous austerities, he realized that neither indulgence nor denial led to awakening. He accepted nourishment, sat beneath the pipal tree, later called the Bodhi tree, and vowed not to rise until he had penetrated the truth. For days he meditated, facing temptations from Mara, the embodiment of doubt, fear, desire, and delusion, who assailed him with armies of illusions, seductive daughters and threats. Yet Siddhartha remained unmoved, touching the earth as witness to his resolve. On the full moon night of Vesak, insight dawned. He saw the chain of dependent origination, the interdependent arising and ceasing of all phenomena, and realized the Four Noble Truths in their fullness. In that moment he became the Buddha, the awakened one, and inner peace was no longer a concept but his lived reality. Now bring that same possibility into your own life. Thoughts arise in your mind like clouds drifting across an immense sky. Some clouds are dark and stormy, heavy with anger, fear, grief, or self-doubt. Others are light and fleeting, filled with joy, ambition, or daydreams. But you are not those clouds. You are the vast, unchanging sky that holds them all without being affected. The key to inner peace lies in recognizing this distinction. You do not need to battle the clouds, suppress them, analyze them endlessly, or grasp at the pleasant ones. Simply observe with gentle, non-judging awareness. Let them arise naturally, let them pass naturally. In this spacious non-resistance, in this patient witnessing, the inherent stillness of your true nature reveals itself, not as a temporary emotion that ebbs and flows, but as the ever-present ground of being beneath every experience. One of the most beloved collections of the Buddha's sayings, the Dhammapada, offers timeless guidance here. In chapter 20, it declares, "Of all the paths, the Eightfold Path is the best. Of all the truths, the Four Noble Truths are the best. Of all things, passionlessness is the best. Of men, the Seeing One is the best." And in another verse, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." That single word, when lived deeply, is mindfulness, sati, the practice of being fully awake and present in each moment. Mindfulness is not about emptying the mind or achieving some exotic state. It is about showing up completely for whatever is occurring right now. Consider everyday activities as opportunities for this practice. When you wash dishes, feel the warmth of the water flowing over your hands. Notice the texture of the soap bubbles. Listen to the soft clink of plates. Observe the gentle movements of your arms. There is no better moment waiting elsewhere. This is it. When you walk to work or around your neighborhood, feel each foot touching the ground, the subtle shift of weight, the rhythm of your breath syncing with your steps. When anger surges because someone has spoken harshly or a plan has fallen apart, pause. Take 3 conscious breaths. Inquire softly, what is this feeling exactly? Where do I sense it in the body? Tightness in the chest, heat in the face. Where does it begin? Where does it end? In that intentional pause, the automatic reactivity loses its power. The grip loosens, space opens, and peace has room to emerge. The Buddha illustrated this beautifully in a famous story. A man approached him with a torrent of insults and abuse. The Buddha listened calmly, then asked, "If someone offers you a gift and you refuse to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man replied, puzzled, "To the giver, of course." The Buddha smiled and said, "In the same way, friend, I do not accept your anger. It remains with you." The man walked away, his rage still his own burden, untouched by the Buddha's peaceful refusal. You too can learn to refuse such gifts that do not serve your well-being. Refuse to let yesterday's regrets poison today's clarity. Refuse to let tomorrow's hypothetical fears rob this moment of its vitality. Refuse to let others' judgments or opinions become the bars of your inner prison. Instead, actively cultivate the Brahma Viharas, the divine abodes or sublime attitudes the Buddha praised as antidotes to the poisons of the mind. Metta, loving-kindness; karuna, compassion; mudita, sympathetic joy; and upekkha, equanimity. Begin modestly each morning with metta practice. Sit quietly, place a hand on your heart, and repeat inwardly, "May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I live with ease." Feel the warmth of these wishes spreading through your body. Then gradually extend them outward. To a dear friend or family member, may you be safe. To a neutral person, perhaps a cashier or neighbor, even to someone difficult, may you be free from suffering. Over time, this practice softens the heart's defenses, quiets the inner critic, and replaces division with connection. Modern teachers have made these ancient practices accessible in contemporary life. Thich Nhat Hanh, the gentle Vietnamese Zen master, emphasized mindfulness in daily life. Walking meditation, mindful breathing during routine tasks, smiling consciously to generate peace. He taught that peace is every step. Jon Kabat-Zinn, who developed mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, in the late 1970s, secularized Vipassana, insight meditation elements showing how 8-week programs of mindful awareness reduce stress, anxiety, chronic pain, and emotional reactivity through systematic practices like body scans, sitting meditation, and gentle yoga. These approaches confirm what the Buddha knew. Consistent, patient effort transforms the mind. The path is not always smooth. There will be days when old patterns reassert themselves. Worry floods in, resentment flares, distraction wins. On those days, meet yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend. The Buddha never demanded instant perfection. He spoke of diligent, patient effort, arousing energy to abandon unskillful states and nurture skillful ones. Return to the breath as your reliable anchor. With each inhalation, gather your scattered attention like collecting scattered leaves. With each exhalation, release accumulated tension like letting leaves drift away on the wind. Over weeks, months, years, this humble practice turns the mind from a chaotic battlefield into a serene garden where calm naturally flourishes. Remember always the liberating truth. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. You do not need to wait for ideal circumstances. No more conflicts, no perfect health, no absence of change or loss. Inner peace arises precisely in the midst of life's impermanence, anicca, in the recognition of non-self, anatta, that there is no permanent, separate I to defend, and in the deep understanding of suffering's causes and cessation. It blooms when you cease fighting reality and begin meeting it with wisdom, compassion, and love. You are already whole, already complete beneath the layers of conditioning. The joy, freedom, and serenity you yearn for are not locked away in some future accomplishment or external condition. They are here now in this very breath, this heartbeat, this alive moment of existence. So today, stand tall in your quiet dignity. Allow the world's clamor to recede into the background like distant traffic. Choose peace, not as avoidance or weakness, but as a profound act of courage and clarity. Choose to train your mind with gentleness, persistence, and self-compassion. Choose to release what no longer serves, old grudges, unnecessary fears, endless striving. In doing so, you honor the Buddha's greatest offering to humanity, the insight that genuine happiness arises not from accumulating more, but from wanting less, not from dominating life, but from flowing harmoniously with its currents, not from evading pain, but from comprehending it so thoroughly that it loses its power to bind. Expand this practice further by exploring the foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana. Contemplate the body, its postures, sensations, breath, feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, mind states, greed, aversion, delusion or their absence, and dhammas, phenomena like hindrances, factors of awakening. These four foundations provide a comprehensive map for insight. In Vipassana meditation, you note sensations, thoughts, and emotions as they arise, thinking, feeling, hearing, gently returning to the breath or body without clinging or aversion. Benefits include reduced reactivity, greater emotional resilience, clearer perception, and a growing sense of interconnectedness with all beings. Stories from the Buddha's life reinforce these teachings. Once, a farmer lost his oxen and searched frantically. He asked the Buddha if he had seen them. The Buddha replied calmly that he had not, but invited the man to rest and drink. Later, when the oxen were found, the farmer returned gratefully. The Buddha used the moment to teach. While you searched in agitation, you missed this peace. When the mind is free from craving, peace is immediate. Such tales remind us that peace is not postponed. It is accessible whenever we stop the chase. As you continue, be patient with setbacks. Transformation unfolds gradually, like dawn spreading across the sky. Celebrate small victories, a moment of non-reaction, a breath taken mindfully amid stress, a kind thought extended to yourself or another. These accumulate, reshaping neural pathways, softening habitual patterns. You are not alone on this journey. Countless beings across millennia have walked this path. Monks in ancient forests, lay people in bustling cities, modern practitioners in meditation halls or quiet homes. The same luminous potential that awakened the Buddha resides within you, unextinguished, waiting only for your attention and care. Trust it, nurture it with daily practice. Let it guide you steadily home to the quiet, radiant center of your being, where peace has always dwelled. May your mind grow ever more calm and clear. May your heart remain open and tender. May you walk this path with steady, joyful steps, rediscovering again and again the boundless peace that is your true nature. With deepest love, respect, and unwavering faith in your beautiful spirit. Peace be with you, always and in every moment.